Meeting to order. Chisholm City Council meeting, January 28th, 2026, 5:30 p.m. Susan, would you please take roll call?
Yes. Counselor Varda, absent. Counselor Faulkner, absent. Counselor Baki,
Here.
Counselor Hellebuck,
Present.
Counselor Halverson,
Present.
Mayor Lance.
Here. Hey, Council, we have two additions, if we would, under myself. We're going to schedule a working session with the school board to discuss on Stephens Root property, and schedule a local board of appeals and equalization meeting on April 21st, 2026 at 4 p.m.
What was the date of
And
that?
April 21st. And then also with note the additions for the updated memo and estimates for under C1 for Larry for the garbage truck rebuilds. So with those two additions and the one updated memo, correction to the meeting minutes. We would do that under a consent agenda, wouldn't we? Yep. So with those two additions and the correction, or addition, I'll look for a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Jed.
Second.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, is there public participation there, Travis? I think there was. Or Susan? Or somebody
There you go.
Okay. So we have three tonight, or two, excuse me. So we'll start with Ms. Gornick. Margaret, good evening. Would you like to start?
Yes, please. I'm Margaret Gornick with the Chisholm Kiwanis Club tonight, and I'm here along with Ashley Curtis, another member. Mayor Lance is also a member of Kiwanis, and so is Councillor Vaki. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So just to let you know a little bit about Kiwanis, it's a global organization of volunteers dedicated to improving the world, one child and one community at a time, aiming to be a positive influence in communities worldwide so that all children can thrive. We meet on Thursdays at noon at Valentini's. And tonight, we'd like to invite all of you for a Unity for Our Community event. This will be on Saturday, February 14th at the Longyear Lake, the north side of the lake, and it's from 8 a.m. to 8:30 in the morning. So please join your fellow community members on Longyear Lake in Chisholm. We'll hold hands and spend a few minutes together to show our unity. And we ask that there's no bullying, no littering, no political or personal agendas, and we'll gather on the lake itself only to avoid the streets and sidewalks so that we're not so that police don't give us a ticket. And then next, I'll just introduce Ashley Curtis, and she'll talk a little bit about our, we've got a fishing contest. But one other thing, the veterans will be clearing brush on the island where the fountain is located. So if anybody would like to volunteer with that and are willing to help with it, please bring a chainsaw. And then the bobber on the lake will be put out that day. So tickets are available from the Chisholm Band students and parents, and they're $2 each, or 6 tickets for $10. And now Ashley will talk about the fishing
If anybody
contest.
would like a flyer, send it extra. Okay, I'll just set them right here, and then you guys can take those. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret.
Thank you.
So as Margaret
Hello,
said,
Ashley.
hello, I'm Ashley Curtis. I work at NHS North Star, and I joined Kiwanis last year when I moved back to the range, and so I've been helping them organize some of the events that we put on for the community. Unity Day is part of that, and then also the ice fishing contest, which I'm sure you all are aware of and have been a part of here and there throughout the years. So that will also be on February 14th, a Saturday. Weather agreeing with us, as long as the wind chill is not below 0, we'll be out there fishing, and it's a lot of fun. And I love it. That's why I'm doing it. So, any questions about that? I have flyers for that also. And I think last year we had well over 100 participants, and it was just such a blast. And I think we should promote it even more so we can have more of a turnout. And I think it's really good for our local businesses too, because when people come in and they fish and they stay after and hang out at Val's and what have you, and you know, it's a good time. So.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. And yeah, if you would leave one of those flyers too, that'd be great.
The stack. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Second here, so we'll move on to council reports. Councilor Baki, good evening.
Good evening. Wow, you know, in all my years, I've never been first. I've never been first to give a report.
Surprise.
How about that? Okay, well, I'm going to echo Margaret and Ashley. I have been in Kiwanis for a few years, and I was president of Kiwanis at one point. It's a great organization. That small group of people works so hard to do events in this town, and they are so successful at it. The fishing contest is a staple for Kiwanis. There's a big turnout. I know they involve Miss Chisholm, and so please consider joining that and fishing, and of course consider joining the Unity for Our Community as well. So in addition to that, I would just like to plug that we are planning to bring back a street dance at Fireworks for Doc Graham Days. I know I mentioned it at our last council meeting, but we are running a fundraiser currently. Kelly Harris still has some raffle tickets if anybody is looking to buy one. That's our little kickoff fundraiser for that, and more to come with that. But exciting news on that front. And then I will end just by saying thank you to Councillor Halverson at our last working session we had with MnDOT. I was very impressed with the map that you came up with and trying to save us some land. So kudos to you for that. That's what I got.
Thank you. Councilor Halva, good evening.
Evening. It's above zero outside. That's a good thing. Attended the Public Utilities Commission meeting, our sanitary sewer district meeting, our monthly RAMS meeting, our safety committee meeting, and our last working session.
Thank you. Councilor Halverson, good evening.
Evening. Since our last meeting, I was at a Redhead Committee meeting, our working session last week, and Minnesota Discovery Center planning meeting, which was the last one in that series.
Thank you. Myself, just had my first Parks and Rec meeting, so that was a fun group to sit in with. Obviously, very busy, very exciting. I think the community is going to see a lot of work happening over the summertime here. There's a lot of projects that are going to be coming to fruition and completion, at least for the phase or the scopes of them. I think it's a good thing to remind everyone when they look at these and all the different projects that are happening when it comes to the Parks and Rec, that those are pretty much totally funded through grants and programs. So there's going to be a lot of money invested in the community that is not going to cost us anything, for the initial infrastructure, which is fantastic. So thank you all very much for welcoming onto that board. Had a great time, and I can't wait for everything else that we can keep doing. I was also attended on behalf of the Chisholm Ambulance Service a class down at the EMS conference. Well, not stealing any of your thunder here, Tiffany, but it was a STEMI class and was put on by Richard Mulvane, who is the oversight and overseer, and he gives a lot of feedback for heart attacks in the St. Louis County area. Just St. Louis, or is it northern Minnesota?
We have the same program for St. Luke's, Duluth, and St. Mary's of Duluth.
So everyone that comes into St. Luke's and St. Mary's is evaluated, the care is evaluated, and he uses some of these cases to have discussions and training opportunities. And I'd just like to proudly say that he highlighted a case from the Chisholm Ambulance Service. And one of the things that they had pointed out in this class is from initial patient contact to the first mechanical intervention. You want to have 90 minutes to be a good success rate. And he said it's very difficult to even have that when you are inside of a community where you have that hospital in luxury. And us being an hour and 10, 15 minutes away, we actually hit that 90 minute mark for the case he was talking about. So from patient contact to intervention was 90 minutes down in Duluth. And so we got a lot of accolades and praise for our service in town here. So it's definitely something for the staff and the community to be proud of. Other than that, then probably piggyback on the United Way Day of Unity for our community. Can't think of a better time for people to be thinking about that. And one thing I always talk about how great Chisholm is because people have a vested interest. Everybody is really trying to give back, and we care about each other. I think it's time that as a society, it doesn't just stop right here. One thing I like to talk about on the fire service, when people try to do better and be better, it's not just when you're wearing your fire gear, it's not just when you're donning your police uniform or your EMS uniform and going out to help people. We should be focused on, extending that further than just right in our community. We should be thinking state, national, a whole world living in peace. So. It's good to see others working to help move that forward. Ambulance Director, with your report, please.
So surprise, I do have a report.
So fantastic.
So I put together some of the numbers from last year, and I thought it would be nice to put some of those numbers out there just to recap the year we had last year. It was the first year that we had ALS for the entire year, so it changed some of our numbers significantly. Also, with the public safety building, it has allowed more out-of-city staff to work comfortably in Chisholm, and I think that has had a pretty big effect on some of our numbers. So in 2025, we wrote 1,053 EMS reports. That is 51 calls more than 2024. 60 of those calls were interfacility transfers from one hospital to another hospital. That is something that we've been pushing because it does both pay the staff and the service better, and then it helps free up that space in the community in those hospitals for local people to come in. So those people need to go to another hospital, other people need to get in those hospitals, and we're able to help by doing these interfacility transfers. The interesting part is these transfers sometimes take us from International Falls to Rochester, and from Essentia, Virginia to Fargo. And the crews that take these transfers are normally off duty. They get a message saying that there's a transfer request, and within 20 minutes, they're ready and waiting at the hall to drive to I Falls to go to Rochester. And that is pretty impressive, just as a culture for the staff. That is impressive. Also, out of these 1,053 reports we wrote, 84 of them were second outs. We do not staff our second out ambulance, so that means 84 of these calls were people who were at home, at work, doing what have you. Their pager went off, and they responded. And they responded in a timely manner also, which is very impressive. These numbers are well above our normal numbers. Before we had ALS, we often relied on mostly Hibbing ambulance to help us when we had a more critical patient. In the past, between 60 to 100 times a year, we requested Hibbing to come for help because the patient needed that help. This year, 17 times, Hibbing responded for us for a paramedic. All the other times that we've needed a paramedic, I'll look at Jed. He is a big number of these ALS calls, but the rest of the medics on the service were able to respond to that BLS call from home, from work, from around town in a timely manner. 84 times, that is pretty impressive. Hibbing did 36 mutual aid calls for us, which again is well below the 60 to 100 calls that they've done for us in the past. So that is when we already have an ambulance out on a 911 and a second page comes out and we're not able to get a crew together within 4 minutes, Hibbing will come over and help us. A lot of those second outs were actually the third call that came in within 30 minutes. So as a staff, we are covering so many calls in town. It is mind-blowing for the percentage. We did respond to Cook for ALS Intercept one time. They requested us, and we were able to go for them. At this time, we are almost 50-50 with paramedics and EMTs. We have paramedics that come up from Duluth to work in Chisholm. We have paramedics from other services that come to work in Chisholm, and we also have paramedics that this is their only job. So we have a very interesting melting pot. And I do believe that that new safety building is a big reason we're able to pull from all these different areas in Minnesota. Also, one of our big goals for this year was to decrease our dispatch to en route time. We are currently 2 minutes below the national average at approximately 5 minutes from dispatch to leaving the ambulance garage. The national goal is 7 minutes. So that is a huge increase from years past and something to be very proud of. And that's about all I have because you already got the STEMI stuff done. So
What's ALS?
ALS is advanced life support. So when ALS comes, it's a paramedic. Paramedic traditionally has 2 years of specialized schooling. They can give over 50 medications and advanced procedures. So yeah, good job.
Thank you, Tess.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Police Chief, good evening.
Mr. Mayor, no report tonight. Tiffany did a great job, and I don't want to steal her well-deserved thunder, so no report.
Building official, zoning,
No report.
city engineer, Jim.
I just wanted to provide you with one piece of information with regards to Stephanie's push for our new Wenton edition. We will be receiving bids hopefully next Wednesday, I think at 11 o'clock, for the Phase 1 utility improvements, utilities and street improvements, such that we hope to be bringing a recommendation and hopefully award at your first meeting in February 11th. So Stephanie's making progress in a great way.
Good work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Public Works Supervisor, Larry.
Nothing outside the agenda, Mayor.
Okay. City Parks Trails Rec Director, Colin.
Official report.
Library Supervisor, Katie.
All right, good evening, everyone. Our winter reading program began this week, and it's a 6-week program that runs through March 9th. This year, the theme is Track Down a Book, which features a passport-style activity book that encourages reading across a variety of genres and subjects. And so participants who complete the activities will be eligible for some prize drawings. We've got some local gift cards, and the program's open to all ages, kids through adults. Other than that, we're gearing up for tax season. We're again partnering with AEOA and AARP, and we'll be having 3 volunteers at the library on Thursdays from 9 to 2 to help people file their taxes. And the service is available to everyone. There's no restrictions on age or income. So go ahead and call the library if you'd like to make an appointment. And just a huge thank you to our volunteers. This is our 3rd year doing this program, and it's becoming more and more popular every year. And there's a huge demand for it. So just to thank you for our volunteers that keep showing up every year. Lastly, I'm very excited to share that we've hired Candace Sjogren as our new intermittent library assistant. She started last week. She's already been a huge help in filling some of the gaps that we have in our schedule. And I just want to thank Stephanie and the council for supporting that temporary hire, and it's already brought a lot of relief to our staff. So thank you for the support on that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
City Clerk. I'm gonna jump in here real quick. I do apologize, Councilor Fulton's not able to be here tonight. She did ask to read a report for her. Good evening, everyone. I was able to attend the working session on Wednesday, January 21st. Also attended the League of Minnesota training for Board of Appeal and Equalization training and received her certificate. So she will be one of the other alternates on there in the future. Thank you. City Administrator Stephanie, good evening.
Good evening. I have no formal report tonight.
Okay. All right, Council, I would look for me to make a motion to approve the consent agenda, which consists of list of bills, communications, minutes of previous city council meeting minutes, payroll and overtime, and there is a correction on the previous meeting minutes on page 26 in the packet under resolution number 0126-10, accepting grant from the Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation Public Works Grant Program for the 6th Street Northeast Infrastructure Replacement Project. The change is moved by Councilor Fountain and supported by Councilor Varda. And then striking the language, approve the site survey for Public Works Building by Short Elliott Hendricks, Inc. in the amount of $5,666. So with that correction, I will look for a motion and support to approve the consent agenda.
Motion.
Thank you, Jed.
Support.
Thank you, Travis. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. No unfinished business. Moving on to new business. Ambulance Director Tiffany, welcome back.
All right, I just have one little request here, and that is just a request to purchase 6 AED batteries and 6 sets of pads for the AEDs throughout the city. They're on an automated system and they've deemed themselves expired, so we would like to replace them.
Okay. Counselor Fountain had a question asking if we needed 3 bids or comparables, or if there's a reason why we just went with Bone Tree.
So Boundtree is one of 2 bids that I went through. I went through Stryker, which is the maker of the AEDs, and I went through Boundtree, who we do have a contract with, so we get a bit of a discount. Stryker came in lower, and then Boundtree came in lower yet, after I showed them the other quote. So we could do a 3rd bid, but we don't have another contract, so that would be much more expensive.
All right, Council, I'll look for a motion and support to purchase the batteries and pads from Bone Tree.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Marty.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Police Chief. Jim, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. 2 items on the agenda tonight. It's raffle season, so first item on the agenda is just informational for the council. As you can see, there was 4 raffles approved by the Gambling Commission. I'll let you folks read those over. I won't go into any detail to waste any time here. But yeah, so a lot of raffles coming in this time of year. Even this last couple of days, we've had several more for the next council meeting. So good to see there's lots of things going on and lots of support in our community. So that's just informational. Second item on the agenda is just a request from Minnesota C-Store for the 3-2 off-sale liquor license. So just need council approval for that.
Okay. And the previous store had this too, correct?
Correct, yep.
Okay.
So they just basically did a name change, so they have to get all of their licenses and paperwork to the new name. So,
Council, I'll look for a motion and support to approve the liquor license.
Motion.
Thank you, Travis.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
okay, that's all I had.
Thank you.
All right, next up, Public Works. Larry?
Mayor, Council, thank you. It's been 4 years already since we rolled out the new garbage program, and our trucks are in need of some repair. Generally speaking, it's an 8 to 10 year lifespan on the garbage truck, and we're through it 4 full years now. So it's crazy. All of 22, we rolled out in the spring in the fall of 21 with like a 3-month trial, and then we went live with billing for the rest of the year, and we did all of 22, 23, 24, 25, and working into our 5th year. So with that, and generally speaking, a garbage truck is about $325,000, $350,000. So they expect, they warrant some work once in a while and cost some money, right? So with that, I did competitively bid this work, and luckily there was 2 dealers that I was able to deal with. McQueen Equipment, which had the previous, they were the authorized dealer for IL equipment and rapid rails, and now it's EJ Equipment out of Shakopee. So I was able to competitively bid the work, and I would be looking for council approval to spend $41,741.40 at EJ Equipment to fix Unit 320 and 321 garbage trucks.
Perfect. When it's time to buy new garbage trucks, where's that money gonna come out of?
So, yeah, this is not general fund, so, this is an enterprise fund. Devin could speak to it much more than I could if you need, Mayor, but, basically, there's revenues and expenses, and, we have, for say, a savings account. So every year, I think this year unaudited, the garbage service made somewhere around $90,000. So that $90,000 goes in the account, and then we would expect to buy a garbage truck. We would start building it next year. They're like a year and a half to build, and we would take delivery sometime in 2027 or 2028. So, yeah, there is a savings account.
That Counselor Bolton was curious about that.
Yep,
so it's-
absolutely, yeah, so this isn't like coming out of a general fund, you know, that we're mostly used to, I suppose. So water, sewer, garbage, they all, and campground, all are enterprise funds, and they have savings accounts.
Okay. Thank you.
If we're running them appropriately,
Right.
and as we should, so, and I think we're doing okay in all accounts.
All right, Council, unless you have any questions about the repairs, for the rebuilds, I would look for a motion to approve the cost of $41,741.40 to repair trucks 320 and 321 with EJ Equipment.
Make a motion?
Thank you, Jed.
Second.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion?
One thing, discussion, this was approved by the PUC today.
Thanks, Jed.
Thank you, Jed.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Sorry.
All right, Parks, Trails, Rec Director, Colin.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. The first agenda item I have today, I have quite a few for tonight. I'm requesting the council's approval to post and hire up to 2 Chisholm Summer Rec program coordinators for the summer.
Okay, is there changes from last year, or is there a pay change, or no?
Nope, there shouldn't be any pay changes or anything to the job description other than to contact me as their supervisor.
Excellent. Council, look for a motion of support to post and hire for the CSRP coordinator.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Travis.
Second.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Perfect. Next, I am asking council's approval to enter a contract with SEH to complete the scope of services attached plus reimbursable expenses not to exceed $58,900. The services are to assist with the design and bidding phase and construction administration for Longyear Lake Park Phase 1. This part of the project includes 6 pickleball courts, 1 basketball court, an ADA compliant pathways, and parking. This contract will be covered by grant funding secured for Longyear Lake Park Phase 1.
This is a big talking point at the meeting that we just had, so I was kind of catching up on a lot of this stuff, and, yeah. Can't wait. Any questions, Council?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have some questions. On the map here, it's a little confusing on this trail. It said, okay, this is not included, but this is, where's the demarcation between where they're gonna change the bike trail and not change it?
There's not gonna be any change to the bike trail.
Yeah.
The basketball court won't impinge on the trail?
That's the hope, to not change it. I mean,
Oh,
if something
okay.
happens when they're doing the design and we do have to, I'm sorry, Colin.
It looked like, it looked like the,
Yeah,
And then,
we're gonna try to not change that trail, the current trail.
okay, all right. And then, is this over here, is this included, whatever this is over here, this?
That would be second phase, so that,
Okay.
so we have the pump track in the middle, and then the second phase would be the
Playground
playground
and
equipment.
so-
Yes,
okay.
and there's no funding for that currently.
Okay. And then this is more of a, I think, a question for Jim, but SEH did do a plan for rehabilitating the pavement surface back in, I think, 2021 or 2022, and I don't know, I'm not sure if, was Ellie around back then when they did that? I don't know.
No, Ellie wasn't here at that.
I'll just make sure we remind them to look in their files.
Looking at it, if I remember right, Marty, was the big cracks across that basketball tennis courts that we were gonna try and fill and then put a bituminous overlay over.
I don't remember it that way. I remember it as being a full rehabilitation. And we were gonna remove the pavement, do the
Yeah, I think you're right. yeah.
geofabric, geogrid, our typical
Yeah,
pavement
reduce it
section,
within the fence, remove that existing bituminous
and do
and
the,
then repave it,
Yep.
paint it. and-
kind of like do our street section, but on this court to try and
Yeah.
prevent the crack, the development. So is that part of this? Is it gonna be a complete pavement rehabilitation?
That's my understanding. It's a complete removal of the existing courts,
Okay,
fencing and the whole works, and it's all brand new
Okay.
construction with, be like a pavement section with
Yeah,
gravel
yeah.
and geogrid.
Yep.
underneath.
I just wanna make sure SEH is aware of their own previous work, because I think we actually had it in a bid package for mill overlay on our street projects, and we cut it because we didn't have the money.
Yeah, you're right, we did do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I don't, Colin, what is the actual size of that? I see it said 2 hoop basketball court, but is it?
Correct. It's not a full-size basketball court according to the room that we have in that area, so we considered it to be a 3/4 of a regular-size basketball court.
Kind of like the South Side Park? That one's kind of miniature. It looks like about the same
Not as
size.
familiar with the dimensions of that one, but
I think that one's even smaller. It's probably 50 or 60.
Okay, all right, okay.
And during design too, Marty, we're gonna look at it and see if we can extend it to a full court, but with this, just if there's any sizing restraints on not being able to do that. But
Okay,
that is within consideration. We just have to make sure we keep ADA and everything on that
Mhm.
pickleball courts. And
okay, thank you.
Hey, Council, unless there's any further questions, I would look for a motion and support to enter, or to approve the SEH proposal for the Lake Park pickleball courts, phase 1.
Your motion?
Thank you, Jed. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Travis. Any further discussion?
I just wanted to know, I want that to be a full court. That's my goal.
You're still young.
All those in favor? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
awesome. Next on the agenda for me, I am asking for approval to enter into a contract with Bar Engineering for environmental consulting services related to the maintenance and enhancement, the DNR, otherwise known as the DNR and maintenance grant at Redhead Mountain Bike Park. Bar's scope of services is intended to assist the city with the environmental review/assessment activities that must be completed prior to accruing any costs that are expected to be reimbursed by the grant. The cost of the services will not exceed $14,200 without prior approval. This contract will be funded by the Redhead Trail Maintenance Savings Account.
Council, you have any questions? I look for a motion and support to enter into contract with Bar Engineering.
I make the motion.
Thank you, Marty.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next, I am asking for approval to enter into a contract with Bar Engineering to assist with the city with preparing documents that will help the city solicit proposals to complete the maintenance and enhancement work to be reimbursed by the DNR maintenance grant. The cost of the services will not exceed $11,250 without prior approval. This contract will be funded by the DNR maintenance grant.
Any questions, council? I look for a motion and support.
I'll make the motion again.
Thank you, Marty.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next, I am asking for approval of the request for proposal documents completed by Bar Engineering for the Chisholm Connector Trail construction. This project will be covered by the IRRR connectivity grant with construction planned for this summer. And you can even see there's a map included in here that gives you a visual of it as well.
Page 85. Oh, this is the one that we're expecting also completed, right, by the end of the year?
Yep.
Yeah, fantastic. The map, council's on page 85, which,
Yep.
yeah, this is gonna be, really exciting that this is happening this year. Well, it passed this year. So council, I'd look for a motion and support to approve, RFP documents for Chisholm Connector Trail.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Jed.
Yeah.
Thank you, Travis. Any further discussion?
I just have one, it's not really it's a comment more than anything. I get a little nervous with that, with the four-wheelers that go through there, that blow through that hill area, and, you know, I know it's not like we can put a fence up there, you know, but I get concerned that that's gonna be an ongoing fix, you know, vehicles drive on that hill for heaven's sakes, you know, so that's just a concern of mine, but I think it's a brilliant idea, and I'm excited to see it come to fruition, but.
Absolutely.
We did walk the route last summer, and I think we figured out a way to not share the ATV route, so we'll try to
Sure.
keep it separate as much as possible, so the ATVs can keep riding where they ride.
Okay.
So all those in favor?
Got one question, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
Sorry. Do we need to contact the county? Is the right away there? Where it crosses there? I'm just kind of curious.
Where is that?
I think we already have the agreement, Tony Beach.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay, okay. That's all.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Opposed? Motion carries.
Awesome.
Thank you, Colin.
Exciting
Thank you.
stuff. Thank you, guys.
thank you, Colin.
Next up, Katie, welcome back, library supervisor.
All right, hi again. So on page 89 of your packet, we received a donation from Daniel Swam for the Chisholm Library. And with that donation, he also wrote a letter. And the letter says, I grew up in Chisholm in the 1950s and early 60s. The library was my home away from home as a kid going to Lincoln grade school. Thank you for all the wonderful hours I spent immersed in your books. With fondest memory, Daniel. So, big thank you to him, and with your approval, I would like to adopt a resolution to accept the $100 donation from Mr. Swalm and earmark the funds for the Chisholm Library.
Excellent. That's very kind. Council, look for a motion and support for resolution 0126-17, and I'm sure thank you has already gone out.
Yeah.
So appreciate that. Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Jed. Thank you, Travis. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Clerk Treasurer Devin, good evening.
Good evening. Page 91, I'll start out with an engagement letter from Sterling Company for the audit, for the 2025 audit. I think we're pretty happy with their services. Their rates really haven't changed. And I think the timeline for the audit engagement hasn't really changed either. They'll come around July, end of June, beginning of July. So with your approval, we'll engage in audit services with them.
Council, if there's any questions, I'd look for a motion support to approve the agreement with Sterling Company.
Motion.
Thank you, Travis.
I'll second.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Page 98, we have a rock solid invoice for their second contract out of 2. On page 99 is their invoice, and then on page 100 is their change order that was approved at the November 12th meeting. So the total left on their contracts after that change order is $38,996. And this specific invoice is for $25,023. So they'll have a little bit of work left next year.
Perfect. Okay, Council, I look for a motion to approve the rock solid invoice in the amount of $25,023.06.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Marty.
Support.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Last, page 101, we had a couple of CDs mature at 4M, and we have about a 3 to 6 month stepped maturities for all of our CDs at 4M. The principal on these CDs, I don't think we're going to need. So I guess my suggestion would be to reinvest them at CDs with a term date sometime in the fourth quarter of 2027, as I don't think the city will need those funds. And by locking in this fixed rate CD, we'll lock in somewhere between 3.5% to 3.75% interest. I saw the Fed today, they didn't change rates. So if they're going to do anything, they might lower them in 2026, as that's the projection. But this just kind of ensures that we lock in at a 3.5% to 3.75% for these two. So I'm just looking for approval to reinvest those CDs, the principal of those CDs, in 2 additional ones.
And those would be locked in building until the end of 27, you said?
Yes, and so I did include on page 102, there's kind of 3 different sections to this, but the top shows all the different investments that we have invested at 4M. And two of those accounts are like money market accounts, they're very liquid, we can access them anytime. But then the yellow highlighted box is like our fixed income, so those aren't CDs. Not that we can't access them, we'll just get penalized and lose some of the interest. But yeah, and we do have a savings over at our local bank that has a significant amount of money in case we do run into cash flow problems. But that's why I'm thinking that it's fine to reinvest these in CDs.
Lock it in for 2 years and let it build off of.
Yeah, and then, if they do drop interest rates in the next year, a few percentage points, we're saving, or we're mitigating our risk by locking it in now.
Mhm.
On the alternative, they can go up, but at least we're,
Still a good number.
yeah.
All right, council, I would look for a motion and support to approve the reinvestment for MPMA of the matured CDs.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Jed.
Support.
Thank you, Travis. Any further discussion? Thank you, Devin. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Brian, I've been watching a lot of meetings recently, other places, and they bang the gavel after everyone. Is it not final and approved until you actually hit that? Or am I doing it wrong 3 years?
Mayor, I think you're doing it fine. It's more fun to bang the gavel.
It probably is. So I don't want to take fun from everybody else. All right. Okay, first on scheduled working session, discuss the HRA debt forgiveness and the Moonlight Brewing Company. So do we need this to be separate than the working session with the school board? Probably yes.
That would be
Yep.
ideal.
Okay.
The only thing is, do you want to have the fire job descriptions are ready to,
They are okay.
if we wanted to have that one.
To the debt forgiveness.
For this, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, to this one, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Excuse me.
With the addition of the fire department job descriptions. So schedule a working session, discuss HRA debt forgiveness, which we talked about during our budget season. We were discussing that, and then
That's correct.
Moonlight Brewing and the fire department job descriptions. Stephanie, do you have a timeline as far as?
Devin, is there a timeline on that HRA?
No, there isn't any timeline. The HRA audit is due at the end of March. I believe I told them that we'd have a working session and then it'd be brought to our next council meeting. I was anticipating probably by the end of February,
Okay.
but
I imagine the Moonlight Brewing probably needs to move quicker. No?
In February.
February?
Yeah.
Okay, also, I'm not sure, let's see what our schedules look like here for early February.
How's February 9th look?
That might be an option for the school one.
That'd be
The
a-
school, the
that
school
just be
board
required?
meets the second and the fourth Monday, and they were asking if we could meet at 6 o'clock on one of those dates.
Okay.
And I believe the 9th would fall under that second or fourth.
Okay.
I mean, the other option, I don't know, Brian, if you would meet over there and then come back here to finish the agenda items.
You
or
could.
If that's an opportunity or not.
Well, theoretically, we should probably note it as 2 meetings, just so people are aware of the location and location change.
Sure.
Mhm. Well, for the HRA debt forgiveness, Moonlight Brewing, and fire department job descriptions, would we be able to do that the Wednesday after our council meeting on the 11th? Would you,
I will not be here.
you will not be, okay, so never mind.
Tuesday the 10th?
That's a bad day for me.
When are you, you're gone?
I'm gone the 10th to the 13th.
10th to 13th, so let's forego that. 16th is President's Day. Is that a city holiday?
Yes,
You
it is.
going? You shut
Yes,
down?
it is.
Yeah. All right. 17th is shot for me. I could probably do the 18th. The 18th work for you?
Yeah.
February 4? Or no? Is that too soon?
Is February 4th too soon? I would much rather get it done sooner.
Next week.
Next week?
Just check with Jason on that, but
Or the
we can
description.
schedule it.
Okay.
Then if we have to do a different one for the fire department, that's fine.
Would we be able to meet by 5 p.m. on the 4th?
Again?
Okay, I'll look for a motion to schedule a working session to discuss HRA debt forgiveness, Moonlight Brewing, and fire department job descriptions, February 4th at 5 p.m. in the council chambers.
Make the motion?
Thank you, Marty.
Support?
Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, what's the next item? Was that the working session? All right, so working session with the school board to discuss bond property. Suppose we'll probably just do that at
9th at 6 o'clock.
9th at 6 o'clock. I'll look for a motion.
What was the-
What's it? February 9th
February
at 6 o'clock.
Make a motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Support.
Thank you, Travis. Here. Any further discussion? All those in favor? And that's gonna be at the school?
Correct.
Okay, 1800, 6 p.m. at the school. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Sorry, okay. All right, council, I look for a motion and support to schedule the local board of appeals and equalization meeting on April 22nd, 2026 at 4 p.m.
Motion?
21st?
What is it? I said the 22nd?
He's already
That's
thinking
the
about my
first.
birthday. He's already
See, I
thinking
knew I had
about my
something going on,
birthday.
yeah?
Yeah.
All right,
What a
April
guy.
22nd, 2026 at 4 p.m.
Let's just have it on 420, Adam.
Tiffany, get up here. Okay, April 21st, 2026, 4 p.m. Because we're going to watch the video. Sorry. Council.
Motion.
Thank you.
Support.
Thank you, Marty. Let's get out of here. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, council, is there anything else? That is everything, right? I seem to be having a stroke, so I'm gonna get some water in me. I look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Thank you, Jed.
Support.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries.